Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm alive, not dead. Still here, not anywhere else. Um, Welcome back to Let's Roll. So gone for a couple weeks. Had a little vacation. Did some things. Yeah. So we just we're back, and gonna keep rolling as usual. So hopefully you guys didn't go anywhere, or maybe you missed me. I don't know. So I had a video that I wanted to talk to you guys about over the future of D&D, and I just want to get right into it. So let's go. I have a article from DungeonsandDragonsFan.com here, and showing all the books that are coming out in 2025 and those that have come out before. So immediately, the first thing we have is the Dragon Delves Anthology. I am actually pretty excited for this book. You know what? I just realized. Hold on. I need to... Okay. Alright. So, now that you guys can see... Wow. Okay, now that you guys can see... we have here the Dragon Delves Anthology. I am personally excited about this book because it brings the dragons to Dungeons yeah, it brings the dragons to Dungeons and Dragons. Got 10 short adventures in there. I think it's ranging from level 1 to level 12, which I've heard a lot of people be like, why is it only going up to level 12? I don't know. I hope we see an ancient dragon in there. I'm sure we will, but that's neither here nor there. I have seen all the art in this book, or not all the art, but the different art styles in the trailer that they released a few weeks ago, and it looks promising. I'm here for it. I hope it's good. I wish it was a bit more like Fizzbands, which it might be. I don't know. Where it introduced other types of dragons. I don't think this is going to be like that. I think this is just going to be over the 10 main dragons, which is fine. Are there 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think so. Anyways, and people in the comments are gonna be like, "This is not a true D&D fan. He would know how many different dragons there are, and there are more than 10 because there are gemstone dragons." Anyways, yeah. So I really like the cover. I like the special edition cover, but I really like the just standard cover. I like the 5 dragons there. The red dragon in the middle, breathing fire on the adventurers. That's cool. I'm also really hoping, too, that the entire Black Dragon adventure is completely black and white, and, like, as far as the art goes, like, it looks like OSR kind of stuff. Yeah, it looks like some OSR kind of, like, art for the Black Dragon stuff. I hope they keep that, because I think that's a really good art style specifically for the Black Dragon. So yeah, I'm excited for Dragon Delves, and look forward to a video definitely about that book whenever it comes out. July 8th of 2025. This next book, however, I had no clue that this was even going to be a book. Just pulling up this article, I just found out that this was going to be a thing. Eberron, Forge of the Artificer. It makes sense. We're going to get an Artificer class Cool. Apparently, we're going to get airship travel and combat. This is a pretty big rule of or point of contention. I know that they're changing a lot of the lore, some pretty important lore for Eberron. I have never played an Eberron. I barely even know Eberron. Eberron, barely even know her. So I'm fine with it. I know there's probably a lot of people that have played through Eberron or played in Eberron, and there's a lot of people that are very passionate about Eberron. Like, I guess I would be for the Forgotten Realms. However, I am open to lore changes. I think everyone should go in with a cautious mindset going into this new book. Let the lore change happen and see where it goes. Because, at the end of the day, I mean, first of all, it's just a game. But we want consistent lore to help with consistency in our games, right? But, if the lore has to change in order for players to have more fun or be able to do more with their characters, so be it. It's not a huge deal at the end of the day. So we'll see what happens. And it's going to include 3 adventures to create a complete campaign, apparently. Oh, that can be reworked to create a complete campaign. Okay, all right. Well, we won't go on more about that, but that's cool that it's going to have 3 adventurers set in the Eberron setting. That's cool. Next up, my most look forward to thing, I'm not going to say book because it's not a book, thing about this 2024 version of D&D. The starter set, Heroes of the Borderland. And that's coming out September 16th of this year. And I am so ready for this. I wish it was ready whenever the 3 core books came out, so then we didn't have to wait for our starter set. I think it makes sense why they would wait till September, because that's right in the holiday. Not really, it's before the holidays. Well, that's neither here nor there. It'll be stocked up by the end of, or by the start of the holidays, so then people that want to play D&D can kind of, buy it and try it out. I've heard that this is going to be something where you can pick it up and start it that same evening. And if that happens, this is going to be huge for D&D. If they can do this right, they need to get this starter set right. I cannot express this enough. Please get this starter set right. Now the trailer looks like they're going to be doing a good job. So let's hope so, because everybody wants, I like the tangibility that they're going for, where it feels it's not a board game, but it kind of it presents itself as more of a board game, whereas it's not as theater of the mind. I think that's a perfect starting point for people that want to get into D&D. Let them have the board game. Let them conceive and perceive what D&D is. And then whenever they're ready to move past that, they can move past it. They can go, okay, I get it. Let's try theater of the mind, or let's try some more imaginative stuff. I hope that's what people get out of this. And I hope they emphasize that in the book coming with this. They're like, hey, we have more adventures. They're not the same as this, but if you love this, just give it a try. Stuff like that. It's going to include dice, character sheets, complete adventure based on the classic Keep on the Borderlands adventure. I'm actually very excited for this because I love whenever they bring very old modules back and kind of redo them. I hope it's kind of the same vein as Keep on the Borderlands. I haven't played through it. I do not know a single thing about Keep on the Borderlands. I was, I'm not 1979 old, so the new Heroes of the Borderlands will be divided into 3 separate books, one focused on the Keep, one exploring the wilderness, and one centered around the dreaded Caves of Chaos. I really like that. Divide it, keep it simple for each single one, so then nobody gets overwhelmed. Perfect. Yeah, the only thing we can hope for is that the adventure is really good. That's the only thing we can hope for, because everything else seems to be okay. I've seen some people kind of complain a little bit about the art style for it. I think it's fine. I don't think it's a big deal to keep it a little kiddie. You want kids to play D&D, so why not? Throw them a bone, give them something. I mean, I know D&D can be pretty daunting and haunting and dreadful and horrible, but not everything has to be, there's blood all over the floor and you're covered in guts and you look with PTSD in your eyes as you look upon the enemy that you just felled. It doesn't always have to be like that. Okay, so moving on from the starter set, again, I really hope they hit this and expect a full playthrough of this one. 100%. Same with the Dragon Delves anthology, and if I will be getting the Eberron book as well, because I'm going to be collecting everything for this D&D 2024, but expect playthroughs of some of the Dragon Delves anthology adventures. Expect a playthrough of Heroes of the Borderlands. I don't know about Forge of the Artificer. We will see. If I think the adventures are cool enough, we will see about playing through those as well. All right. Next up, we have my two. Okay, so the Forgotten Realms guides, I'll call them, are 2 separate books. We have the Player's Guide and the Adventure Guide. So let's read what's going to be in the Player's Guide. And this new focus book returns to the Forgotten Realms, offering a ton of new rules, options, new subclasses, feats, backgrounds, and spells, more lore, setting details, and information on noteworthy factions like the Harpers and Tarim and the Red Wizards of Thay. Jeez. Bam. My nose. So the Player's Guide. The subclasses that they talked about for this guide, in a video that came out like 2 months ago, I think, somewhere around whenever the Monster Manual came out. I think we're gonna be eating good with the Player's Guide. I think we're gonna be eating very good with the Player's Guide. I hope everything goes smoothly for this Player's Guide. I hope they add more to D&D 2024 with this, and I hope they add more just as a generality, rather than just for the Forgotten Realms. And I understand it's a Forgotten Realms player guide, but I think this also has the potential to work itself as a expansion guide, not just for the Forgotten Realms, but also for just D&D 2024 in general. I think that would be good for the game as a whole. But obviously keep it Forgotten Realms focused, because that's what it is. So I am excited for that one. Like I said, the new subclasses, feats, and backgrounds and spells are very, very good. I look forward to how they work. So expect me to talk about this for sure. And then we have the Forgotten Realms Adventure Guide. Dungeon Masters. I'm sure we're probably going to be getting a full map like we did of Greyhawk. At least I expect that we will get a full map of like we did in Greyhawk, the poster map from the DM guide. And both of these are coming out November 11th. I don't know if I said that already. I'll cut it out in editing if I did already. This one's solely for the Dungeon Masters, so it's going to focus on 5 key settings in Faerun, Baldur's Gate, Kalimshan, the Dalelands, and the Moonshae Isles, and Icewind Dale. Okay. And the book will also include adventure hooks, new monsters, and new magic items. Ladies and gentlemen, new monsters. Listen here. My prediction right now, my chess play right now, this is my checkmate. This is where orcs are coming. The orcs are coming. If we don't, I think there's going to be I think there's going to be a reckoning if we don't get orcs, not just orcs, different various orcs in this book. If we do not get orc enemies in this book, there's going to be a reckoning, I think. And I think they might know that, and I hope they're smart enough to know that they should put orcs in here. With that being said, give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah. So, minus, I hope we, like I said, I hope we get orcs. New adventure hooks are always cool. New magic items are always welcome. So I hope the 5 settings that they, or not introduce, but they focus on, I hope they go into great detail about each one, and I hope they introduce good lore. I hope we get not just a map of the Sword Coast, but I hope we get a map of the entirety of the Forgotten Realms setting. I'm not gonna lie, I think the Sword Coast gets a little... I think the Sword Coast is overplayed. I think people are ready to see the rest of the map, and not just the crappy map that they released for last 2014 D&D. We're ready for a nice, good, detailed map of the Forgotten Realms setting for D&D 2024. This is their chance. Please, Wizards, if I just started, I know you're not watching, but if anyone was to take one thing from my videos, I would want them to do that one thing. A detailed explanation and map of the Forgotten Realms, the full map. Give us a full map. I don't just want the Sword Coast anymore. The Sword Coast is awesome. It's cool. Let us explore the rest of it, please. Alright, going beyond that. Alright, so apparently we have a book that we know about for 2026. And obviously there's going to be more coming out in 2026, but this is the one that we know of. Lorwyn Shadowmoor Sourcebook. Apparently it's focused on Magic the Gathering. I'm not a huge I don't play Magic at all. I know nothing about this setting. I know more about Eberron than I know about Lorwyn Shadowmoor. The world is made up of both the light and dark plane of existence. Which one isn't? The creatures transforming during the transit. Okay, alright, that's kind of cool. So the creatures transform from day to night. So far we don't know much about what will be included in the book, but it will be using the new D&D 2024 core rules. Okay, yep. Likely include new species, subclasses, spells, magic items, monsters, and adventure hooks. Cool. I hope so. I think everybody does, because more stuff is always nice. However, Magic the Gathering gives me a little bit of a kind of a sour taste in my mouth, especially whenever it comes to introducing it to D&D. I don't know how well D&D and Magic the Gathering really combine. I know Magic, obviously I know the card game, but I don't know anything else other than the fact that it is a card game. I don't know any of the lore. I don't know anything else. I know they have some like D&D stuff in the card game, but that's neither here nor there. I'm here to play D&D, and I hope, I'll be getting this book. I hope whatever they do, I hope that it's good. I hope that it introduces me to the Magic the Gathering setting, and I hope I get hooked into it. That would be nice. That would be cool. So yeah, those are the books that we see coming out in the coming months, and you all can expect me to get all of these books. You can expect me to talk about them in various detail. And, well, now we're back to me. And now, the rest of the future. What does the future hold for Dungeons & Dragons 2024? Well, here's what I hope 2026 is about. I hope 2026 is about expanding. I hope it's about updating the expansions of what came in the past. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Multiverse, whatever that other one was, Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. I want some updated expansions. I don't want to use those books to supplement D&D 2024, because those books were not written for D&D 2024. That was written for D&D 2014. And I hope they recognize, and I hope they know that players and DMs alike, I think, are not going to want to use old stuff for the new stuff. I understand, it is backwards compatible, like they've said, but I'm going to be honest, I don't really care. As a new person getting into D&D, I don't care about backwards compatibility, because I just don't have the books. It's cool for those that want to use it backwards compatible, but I'm not going to go out and buy the old books. I'm going to stay here and wait for new books. And that's just more money for them if they want my money. So, Wizards, listen to me. Take my money. With all that said, I'm looking to get back into the release schedule that we had before I went out on vacation. Everybody look forward to more videos. I definitely do. The support from the last few videos from the first set of videos that I did was great, especially for the first one. That was really cool to actually see a couple comments on there, and I look forward to visiting all these settings, all these books, all these adventures with all of you. And if you look forward to that, please just consider a like and subscribe. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's roll.